It's the week after E3, and what better of a time to start a new show that's based around indie video games? This is Indie Spotlight. Welcome to the first episode of Indie Spotlight, where we take indie video games, trailers, news, and new releases, and we let you guys know week by week what all is coming out. So the first thing we're going to be tackling this episode is new trailers for indie video games. The first game that we have for you this week is Fray. Fray looks really cool. It looks like there's a lot of diversity in the different classes that you'll be seeing in the game. Looks like it's a very open world type game where you can basically choose your class, like a sniper that we saw, or any other type, using a machine gun, any sword like that. I'm very interested in seeing how that turns out. I know a lot of people were kind of turned off by the video, but I found it to be really cool. Whether or not you'll be silently killing your enemies or if you'll just be going blunt force right on in, either way, it looks like it'll be a lot of fun. Fray will be releasing on the 19th on Steam. The next game that we have for you this week is the PlayStation 3 indie game Papo y Yo.
Welcome to the adventures of Kiko. He lives in a favela. This is his robot, Lula. Most people think Lula's just a toy, but Kiko knows the truth. This is Monster. He's real too. Kiko loves to play with both of his friends, but they don't always get along. Monster's afraid of small creatures, and Lula doesn't trust the monster because of one thing. The monster's addicted to frogs. And when he eats them, he changes. Kiko's best friend becomes his deadly enemy.
Papo y Yo was actually just shown at E3 this past week, and it looks to be a very interesting title. We'll see if it's any good. It looks like there's going to be a lot of puzzles and a lot of really cool stuff like that. So I'm a big puzzle type of person. I really like that kind of stuff. So it'll be cool to see if that gets pulled off. The third trailer that we have for you this week is Among the Sleep. Among the Sleep looks actually really cool. I really like the idea that you'll be playing as a 2-year-old. The idea that you're going around your own house, but you're seeing a bunch of really creepy things is really going to harken us all back to our our childhood. We'll be going around and feeling that kind of eerie horror that we once did when we were younger. This idea that you can get horror out of just about any type of situation in your own house is really going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be like Amnesia meets some baby thing. All right, and the final trailer that we have for this week is called Dawn of the Ronin. Dawn of the Ronin looks really cool. I was a big fan of the game Limbo, and I'm also a big fan of the old style Ninja Gaiden games. So it looks like this is going to be a good mashup of the two. It's purely black and white style, except for when you get into like a murdering spree, in which case everything goes red like blood, which I have no problems with. But as soon as that comes out, I think I'm going to be taking a look at it. Definitely a cool looking action title. Okay, we're going to move on to news for the week. This week we're going to be talking about this new movie that's coming out called Wreck-It Ralph. It's basically a movie about a video game villain who wants to no longer be a villain. It takes place in an 8-bit video game where the enemy is just sick of always losing. So he decides that he wants to be a hero for once, and he starts going into modern video gaming, like first-person shooters. It's going to have a bunch of different video game characters. It look like in the trailer you could see Sonic's rival, Dr. Robotnik or Eggman. Bowser was in there. Zombies were in there. Just a bunch of different things. It looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. And right now you can actually go to their website and you can check out the 8-bit video game that the movie is based off of. So it's a lot of fun. I definitely recommend you go check it out. The Humble Indie Bundle 5 is out, and it's just growing and growing with popularity. This one is probably the best one you're going to find because they've got a lot of great titles. They've got Amnesia on there. They've got Limbo. They've got Bastion. They just added Braid. They also added Super Meat Boy. These are just amazing titles that you're going to not find for any kind of a lesser deal right now. $8 or $9 is the minimum right now if you want to get all the games as of this recording, but it's a great deal. I highly recommend anybody who loves great games, you should definitely go check that out. Indie Game the Movie is going to be screening in different locations. You can find out more information at their website. And basically the entire movie is a documentary of 3 different studios, the people who made Super Meat Boy, the people who made Braid, and the people who made Fez. And basically about their trials and tribulations while they've been developing all 3 of these games. So it looks like it's going to be a really cool, interesting piece about how the indie world of video game design is done in today's world. So I definitely recommend checking that out. Finally, we have our new releases for the week, and that's going to be Big Head Bash and A Pixel Escape. Both these games look very interesting, 3D, so I definitely recommend checking them out. And that does it for the first episode of Indie Spotlight. If you're an indie developer and you want to let us know about any games or trailers that you are developing, you can head on over and message me via the Twitterverse at twitter.com/Dazerin, or you can head on over to VBGTV's account at twitter.com/VBGTV. We can start corresponding like we're making the best of friends. So, thanks for watching this first episode of Indie Spotlight, and we will see you next week when we talk more about indie video games and how awesome they are. Finally, this week we have new releases. The only 2 I could find were A Pixel Escape and A Big Head Bash. Finally, we have new releases for this week. The only ones that I could find were Big Head Bash and A Pixel Escape and A Pixel Escape and A Pixel Escape. I can't say that. A Pixel Escape. A Pixel Escape. That's a do.